Okay, so the correct response to this is to immediately pull 5 probes, and then you get a zealot, and then you cancel it, and that also works. But Neeb's ignoring it. I don't know if Neeb is expecting this to just be like a delay. Surely he's been in and seen the pool, right? He knows it's a pool. Why is he not doing anything about this?
I mean, I guess the game plan is that he feels confident in actually making sure that Namshar is not going to be able to break him. He's delaying the natural a decent amount of time.
Namshar hasn't got the money anyway.
I mean, Namshar's not mining gas, so he's not going to go like super all in.
No.
I mean, I guess the game plan is he doesn't want to lose the mining here.
It
might just be because he wants to go in for double gas real quick. Maybe he goes for like a fast Oracle as a response.
Yeah, quite possibly. That could work. We could also see just a very quick robo, something along those lines. But he's already 6 lings out. No more on the way as Namshar does begin droning up behind this. Zealot is out along with 1 pro DPSing this. But of course this naturally is going to finish even with just 1 Zealot. 2nd Zealot coming in. No Cyber Core yet from Neeb. That's very late. He does get that down now up here and completes his wall. But the lings... Okay, this is going to come back in time.
Okay, you can get the wall off, but like the lings are going to be able to break through this gateway pretty quickly. He's not going to make too much more. I think, like, does he have enough time to get a queen out?
Oh, Cyber Core's in the main. Okay.
Yeah, the Cyber Core's in the main. The Stargate is coming up. He is going to try for the queen. I feel like that might be a little bit late, but I mean, you might as well try, right?
Yeah, more lings on the way.
Why is he making lings from the hatchery? From the proxy hatch? I mean, I guess it's a good way to scout, I guess. He knows the Stargate's
would you make 6 if you're scouting?
I mean, I don't really expect us to do any damage. That's the thing, right? Maybe a probe or 2. Void Ray? Oh, he's expecting a hard all-in.
Yeah, well, Void Rays... Remember, Void Rays have been massively buffed. Oh, the Queen does come out, and this changes things a little bit now.
No, dude.
Because not only...
so bad.
He needs to drop the creep tumor, though, right? He needs to clear this up so he can drop a tumor.
He needs to get the Adept first, otherwise he can focus down the creep. So, he's going for the Adept here. And while the Adept pulls back to get healed, he could have tried to get it down then.
Maybe throwing it down at the back here between the mineral patches.
Oh no!
Oh
no, Grant! Okay, he doesn't
Queen
get
goes
the
down.
tumor down. But I mean, this is still like a pretty solid trade for Namshar.
Yeah, behind this Namshar is sitting at 26 workers. Neeb has a very good amount. He never stopped probing, oversaturating his main. The base will go down, but of course it takes ages for the creep to recede here. It's going to be another 30 seconds minimum until Namshar can throw down that base. Namshar's 3rd goes down. I think I like this from Namshar, but there are a lot of Void Rays already on the way, and Void Rays are fucking awesome now.
It's making going up to 3 Void Rays even.
Yeah, man.
So this is definitely going to be able to apply some pressure.
Look how quick they are. That's 200 minerals now, Stefan.
Yeah. I mean, this has to be a cancel on the 3rd, right? There's no way he's able to hold this.
That's so beautiful. They actually do things to me that not even most women can do. Link's in the main once again here. There is a battery that has gone down. There is a Zealot in the mineral line as well. I didn't expect it to get
no,
he's not
making the Stalker! Oh, Neeb. Oh, that's a big mess up there. He's got Link speed now as well.
He can unpower all of this.
Oh,
the battery is going to have to use a lot of energy here. Actually going to get targeted down. Void Ray's coming home. Does he have a recall?
The Void Ray's back as well. The 3rd base is down, which is nice.
Yeah, I still think this is good for Neeb.
Really?
I mean, his natural style...
I don't know. It's like... It's definitely a bit of a weird situation.
He's got a lot of Void Rays.
Like,
resources lost favors. Neeb massively. Look how many fucking Void Rays there are.
Namshar doesn't know about the 3rd. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, this is actually really good.
Namshar's all in now, right?
Although, I mean, I don't know if he's all in. He definitely needs to get a little bit of damage done, but the Voiders are moving out. There's really no way for him to hold this. Oh my god, dude.
This Queen will melt. He's got a couple of Queens, but his Queens need to be brought together.
The 3rd of Neeb, though. Look at the 3rd of Neeb. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, that's a lot of good probes. This is a weird game.
That was... I don't know if I would have moved that many probes over right before the battle was done. This is a huge problem now for Neeb, even though he's going to be able to deny the 3rd again. Oh my god, are there enough queens? Okay, yeah, there's enough queens to be able to deal with this, I think.
There's one Void Ray needs 15 queens. There's never enough.
What?
So Namshar kills 10 probes, loses 4 drones, but Namshar's still on 2 bases. Like, he's not ever going to be able to expand. He cannot take a 3rd.
No, that doesn't matter, though. Neeb can't take a 3rd either, and Neeb's lost quite a lot of workers. The Void Rays are definitely annoying, but like the Void Rays...
Oh my god, there's positions here where he can take the base. Okay, Queen's gonna move down.
So here's the thing, right? The Void Rays are really, really good, but like, when the creep gets spread a little bit more, the Queens will be able to force the Void Rays back to the point where Namshar is able to expand. I feel like Namshar is able to get his third down a little bit before Neeb.
He's trying, this is ballsy. Oh no, the Void Rays, oh no.
I feel like we get into this awkward position in the mid game where the Void Rays just aren't really going to be able to apply that much pressure. And then obviously when we get to the late game, they're going to be pretty good again. But the Queens are out of position. Oh my god. Timing on this. Very unfortunate for Namshar.
Drone does live, instantly retakes it. Again.
I think that was a little... I feel like he could have...
cancels it again.
What? Why though?
I think he expects... Oh my god, he's going to say... They're fucking stupid. Okay, it doesn't
No way, I'm not going to get it. Good focus fire on that one Void Ray.
Yeah.
This is what my ladder games look like when I play Chronos.
Yeah, this is what every one of my games look like. This is a weird game. He's going back in. He wants it. But he doesn't have overcharge anymore. Pretty long cooldown on that ability. It's not even halfway off yet.
Well, this is a little greedy by Neeb.
Yeah, I mean, but Void Rays are Void Rays. Neeb's army at home, though, is getting pretty decent. Has he been able to pick up any upgrades? No, but he's getting Immortals. He still has no third. Both players are getting to this really weird stage where Namshar's been forced to take a different third because Neeb just keeps cancelling it like 10 times.
Neeb knows about it now. That hallucinated Phoenix scouts the third. The Voiders are not going to be able to get too much done, but this is a bit of an interesting...
for the Queens. There's no creep connecting. He could just go down to that third. Oh, there's Hydras.
Yeah, there's the Hydras out. Honestly, this is where the Hydras are insanely good here because... Yes. Oh, no! Oh, that's so bad. Mistake. That's going to be at least 2 dead.
That's all of them.
2, maybe 3. But the issue here, the main issue is that Namshar doesn't have anything that deals with Hydras, like at all. He just started his robotics bay. If Namshar goes for a push, he's gonna have 16 Hydras. That's so many Hydras against gateway units and 1 Immortal. I guess 2 Immortals. I don't know, man. That's gonna be real hard to hold.
Yeah, we can see Neeb here though. His army isn't bad. He is getting a robotics bay if he can buy time, and Namshar is being very defensive as usual. He's sitting back a lot. He's trying to get up to 4 hatcheries. I am having some FPS lag here, but it should be okay. So Neeb does look like he's going to be okay for now. Should be able to get at least 1 Colossus with Disruptor, depending on the tech path he chooses. I would imagine Colossus in this scenario are just a better option. Namshar, the kind of player who's probably going to be able to hit some pretty good splits here. Colossus it is, yeah. +1 on the way, extended thermal lance on the way. So upgrades favour Namshar quite a lot. He already has groove spines and is not actually picked up the Hydra speed upgrade.
Oh, he has it. He has it.
He does.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
This is going to be a little bit interesting. I feel like obviously the sentries are really, really good here, but Namshar's already pre-splitting this to come in from both sides. With good high ground vision from the south side army, he might be able to just pick this off if he's able to get a bit of a surround going. That first Colossus is almost done, but extended thermal lance isn't. So there is a bit of a window here where if that Colossus joins the fray, things are going to be a little bit harder for Namshar to actually break through. And he's going to go now that he knows now that Neeb knows he's here. And here he comes from both sides. That's a bit of a surround. One of the Void Rays goes down. A couple of the sentries go down as well. The Colossus needs to join the fray. One of those Immortals is down too. There's just so much dirt.
Yeah, Super Battery gets activated, but it does get instantly targeted down. The Colossus will fall to these Hydralists. Hydras and Lynx storming in. There is one cannon doing everything it can, but GG! Namshar takes map 1.
Damn. That was a very weird game, Grant.
Yeah, I have no other words. It was super weird. I think that's what Namshar wants, though, right? He wants to make this as odd as he can. He wants to get into a position where, because if Neeb just plays standard, it's going to look pretty good for Neeb. He's still Neeb, he's still one of the greatest foreigners we've ever had. Absolutely incredible player. And things not looking good. So we will be getting into map 2 pretty shortly. Just waiting to find out what that map will be. Players are going to be hosting it for us.
It's interesting as well because those kinds of builds, one of the biggest advantages, right? Like you talked about how Namshar benefits from the games being a little bit weird, especially if he's the one making them weird, right? Like if he's practiced that build, which he obviously has, otherwise he wouldn't be using it here, then he's going to have a lot more experience in that position than Neeb would. Now, Neeb's reaction I don't think his response was necessarily bad. Like, he was in a better position than I gave him credit for initially. The real issue came when he lost 10 workers over at the third and lost the third again.
Yeah.
If he would have been able to hold on to the third, maybe he would have been in a much better position, might have been able to snowball into a victory. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an awkward situation for sure, and Namshar puts himself one game away from potentially toppling Neeb for the first time in his career.
Just one map now and lots of opportunity to do so. We are now moving on to Esl Pro. So, interesting base. It's still interesting map. It's still not small. You know, we're not seeing submarine or anything odd like that. We're just waiting to see if the players are ready. I mean, does Namshar go for something weird again? I'm not sure.
In the lobby, my dude. Invite me.
Oh.
Namshar got me. I tried to click on the map and it said only available to party. Alright, we're good.
Are you in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving into the next map now.
And Pro.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a pretty map. Gives me, just as far as the artistry goes, gives me Polar Night vibes.
Yeah.
Remember that map?
Yeah, I do.
Good map.
Okay. I apologize, guys. I'm having to be a little bit quiet now. I really don't feel very well, so I'm really starting to lose a lot of life.
It's all right. You got this.
Okay.
We have 2.5 more series. And now away we go.
In the top right of Esl Pro, he is teamless, representing Sweden, but living in Canada. It's Namshar.
Facing off against the American champion. Arguably the greatest American to ever play this game. It is the blue, a Protoss player for Ting. It's Neeb.
Okay, so Neeb is going for a very quick block on scout, of course, to get things started off here. Namshar hasn't sent a drone out this game. Does look like he's going to be playing relatively standard, going hatch gas pool. He will, of course, be forced to take his third as his natural, as Neeb is being a tricky little bugger. Zerg players these days, of course, have adapted to just go, yeah, I'll ignore you, and he is just going to move down to the standard third base.
I'm interested to see if Namshar has something else up his sleeve, because especially given that he lost yesterday, I imagine, given that they were playing today, he probably saved his best builds for this series. DreamHack tends to be a little bit more of a big deal than the ESL Cup every week. But I feel like he probably has something up his sleeve, right? Like, he showed us some cheeky stuff against Silky as well, and he showed us some cheeky stuff in game number 1, and I'm curious what he goes for here.
Yeah, we do see standard hatch gas pool, gateway on the low ground here for Neeb, who does look like he's going to be going Nexus before Cybernetics core, so a very economic opening here from our Protoss player from America. Cybercore going down in front here, just completing the wall, and everything should be normal. Now, one variation we have been seeing here, and we see it more against Terran, and I don't know if Namshar will do it, is we see some Zerg players move up to 4 queens before they take their third, taking it instead of at like 2:30, they take it at like 3 minutes. It's very, very, very safe, and obviously allows very good creep early, but it does slow you down a little bit in terms of production and economy. We see the first 2 queens coming out here, so it's everything very normal so far here from Namshar. Drones have a long way to walk. Neeb getting his first adept and immediately sending that over to the third. And one of the benefits of having this third so far away is that, of course, it takes a lot longer for the units to move around. And there's a possibility the adept finds a little bit of damage here. And Stargate going down for Neeb. This is, I mean, traditional Neeb, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything looks relatively standard on Neeb's side. So got that Stargate coming on up. I imagine that we're probably not going to see him cranking out Void Rays right away. That was definitely a response to the aggression that Namshar showed. I mean, I would put a large amount of money on the fact that we're going to see an Oracle coming out of here. Maybe he'll go into Void Rays later. I'm not saying that's impossible.
Seeing a lot of Void Ray openers at the moment.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But Oracle's always nice to have. They give you a lot of utility. There it is, Grant. Yeah, man.
I'm now down 1 large amount of money. Adept here being a nuisance in the natural, but of course never going to get anything really done, just shading, being used as a scouting tool. Queen is at the top of the ramp here, just to dissuade this from committing. It's going to run in, try and get a bit of information and a pot shot and then disappear. Maybe tracked down here by the links of Neeb, of Namshar even, and this is pretty nice. This is a great pickup here.
Yeah, this is always a fantastic sort of boon. It gives you so much freedom to just kind of do whatever you want because you know that Namshar is not going to have quite as much map presence. The Lings also might make him think twice about moving across the map with the Oracle just in case this was some kind of weird Baneling bust. And he does turn the Oracle around for a second, but now he identifies that this is not going to be any kind of crazy Baneling all-in. But at this point in time, we have one Void Ray coming out as the follow-up. And is he just going to continue producing Void Ray after Void Ray like he did in the last game? One Void Ray, always great to have, even pre-patch, because it gives you the ability to just take out Overlords pretty quickly, and it's a nice defensive tool to have. But he's already going into that Robo, and I think this is probably the better call. Last game, he really struggled from having a much later Robo, really delaying any kind of utility that was going to allow him to deal with the Hydralisks.
We see drones here coming out of Namshar, nothing but drones. Namshar, of course, very much the liquid ret of modern days, nothing but drones. Game of drones. Lair is going to start off at about 4.5 minutes. Pretty standard. We don't see any gases taken on the natural just yet. There goes the Roach Warren, so we will be seeing that coming into play. But Neeb's building very successfully. He's in a pretty good spot so far. His Oracle didn't find much damage, but his Void Ray has been Overlord hunting. And the Oracle is, of course, still alive, so it can always drop down stasis traps or revelations and continue to offer a lot of utility going forward. Now Neeb is going in quite deep with this Void Ray. It shouldn't find anything as Queens are there to greet it. They get this Overlord, which would be nice.
That's cheeky.
This is
a bit cheeky. He's going to take quite a lot of hull damage on that, but a free kill's a free kill. And in the meantime, we've already got Immortals coming on out. We've got 2 out already. That 3rd base nearing completion for Neeb as well. And he's in a much better position to not randomly lose it to Flood of Lings this time around. It means that Namshar already up to 63 workers, essentially full 3-base saturation. Maybe a little bit late on this 4th, but he's going to be throwing it down now. So definitely a very eco-focused opening from both sides. And it doesn't look like Namshar's trying to do anything particularly cheeky. It looks like this time he really wants to just sort of fall back on the mechanics that we know he has very, very strong. We know he has very strong mechanics, so it's perfectly reasonable for him to try this out, especially on a map like Ice and Chrome. So this is going to be a bit of a slower game. We've got +1 coming on in now for our Protoss representative, and +1 starting up for the Zerg as well, as he's going into Roach Hydra, opting to not go for the Lings this time quite as much.
Roach Hydra, kind of a bit of a throwback. We see a lot of Ling Bane still played in this matchup, so it's nice to see Roach Hydra. We will most likely see Lurkers added into the fray very in the coming minutes here from Neeb, but he's now moving out. He has managed to stasis ward 1 Ling, which is just here for the journey.
I actually feel like this probably goes down. He doesn't really have that many units right now. Namshar being a little bit more on the greedy side.
He's not going to commit. I feel like he could have committed there. He still has a good 5-6 force field and the Void Ray to join the fray if needs be. A lot of Queens coming across, so it would have been close. Neeb, of course, opting to be safe as he.
And you never know if there's like 40 Lings in production just because he saw that attack moving out. So opting to be a little bit on the safe side. But yeah, not too bad at all for Namshar. He's going to be able to try to pick off the Oracle, but a little bit too speedy. And behind this, we've got the Infestation Pit coming on down. So already very, very tech-heavy from both sides, especially Namshar's side. Neeb throwing down a lot more gateways. He's got his Storm. Not quite researched just yet. He starts it up. He's got a couple of Templar, though, already going to be gathering up that energy. They're going to have a lot of Storms available when that research finishes on up. 5th base coming on down for Namshar, opting to expand again right away as he feels like he has plenty of space to do so. And yeah, we're headed to the late game. We might see a 3-base push come out of Neeb. I mean, he's got a 4th coming on down now, but I mean, they're both very comfortable in the late game, both of these guys, so we could be in for a bit of a long one.
+2 standing up for both of our players. No player with the advantage in that Lurker Den, as we said, on the way here for Namshar, as this Hive also fires on up. What do you think this Hive is going to be used for? Is it just going to be for like Lurker upgrades?
It's always nice to have the opportunity to go into Brood Lords, but especially with the Lurkers having both of those upgrades available on Hive Tech, you really want to have Hive up ASAP, because Lurkers without Hive are like a nice way to hold certain timings. But if you're going for Lurker committal, you definitely want those upgrades as soon as possible. So we'll definitely be seeing him sticking on the Lurkers for a while. We'll see if he decides to go into more of a Broodlord composition. At this point in time, Broodlords wouldn't be a bad call.
We do see Neeb pushing in on creep here. The army is going to be able to reposition. Storm is done, and there are a lot of them. No Lurkers out just yet, are there? No Lurkers, so there was potentially a bit of an anti-timing there for Neeb, yeah. What is... Namshar?
A lot of Overlords moving across the map towards this 5th. Was he trying to gear up for a... Like, is he maybe he just misrallied them? I mean, the Zealot sees them, so even if he was trying to gear up for a drop down the line, it's not going to work now.
What the heck? Muscular Augment's finishing off here. This Hydra's getting speedy and lots of Lurkers in production. And this is a Protoss player. Yeah. As a Protoss player, this is where I'm most scared. Is when this first round of Lurkers came up, before I'm fully ready, before I have either Disruptors or transitioned into a more Stargate-based play. Nice force field there from Neeb, just to trap the army from chasing him down. He's going to be able to pick up a couple of Queens here. This one Void Ray still stands very strong, proud with 6 kills. He's going to get on top of a couple of the Lurkers here. Doesn't commit to it. His army's actually looking a little underwhelming. There's really not much, like, you know, front line. There's no arc. There's one Archon. There's like 4 Zealots, no Stalkers. So the army looking a little bit flimsy right now. You can see a lot of it still at home. And Neeb's just going to back off, content with what he's done. And he is transitioning towards those Stargates.
Yeah, Namshar as well, moving across with quite a lot of units here, looking like he wants to try to deny a potential 5th. That's not gone down yet for Neeb. And really, like you mentioned, he doesn't really have a lot of anti-lurker here, and there's a lot of lurkers on the field. 14, if he can find a good position, Namshar might be able to push in and claim a base here. We have this transition into Sky Toss on the way, with the Fleet Beacon finishing up just now, as well as 2 more Stargates. But of course, this opens the door for Namshar to potentially look for an opening while Neeb is investing all that time and money in those carriers.
19 Lurkers.
Oh, that Storm is pretty juicy. But still, Lurkers, very, very tanky units. Plenty of HP to continue moving on forward.
19. Is that too
many? A lot of them. It is if the carriers get out.
Yeah.
For now, though, he's really committed to this push. I think he wants to end the game here before it gets up to the carrier count. More Lurkers coming on in, but the Storms, there's just nothing to tank for them. Where's the rest of Namshar's army? It looks like it's stuck at home.
Yeah, there was a run by, and he ended up F2ing. Well, not quite F2ing, but sending back 3/4 of his army minimum to deal with that. Army supply heavily favouring Namshar. Upgrades pretty even, although Neeb never started +3, and of course he has no air upgrade. So these carriers, although, you know, in numbers are very strong. There we go, he does start that up. Until they get upgrades, they can be a little underwhelming. This one Zealot's in a world of pain. He killed a Lurker.
The big thing about the carriers, that is a bit of a concern right now for Namshar is that obviously he's got a ton of supply in these Lurkers that do not shoot up, as we have Neeb continually storming them as well. And I mean, I guess we should probably focus on this engagement first. Take it away, Grant. Play-by-play master.
There's a lot of Storms getting some very, very nice hits here, but Namshar just can't push in. He can't find an angle. Instead, he's going to run by into the space at 9 o'clock point. There's so many Lurkers have already died this game. 15 have died already, Pengy, Stefan. Another carrier's joined the fray. +1 is already halfway done. The structural rock will go down here, but it looks like Namshar's about to lose a whole lot.
Oh no. I mean, there's a lot of minerals in the bank for Namshar, but he just doesn't have the gas right now. And another concern for him is that he doesn't have any Carapace upgrades. And generally speaking, the attack upgrades are much more important, especially in CVP. But when the carriers get out, that's when you really notice the lack of Carapace upgrades. Any armor upgrade lowers the amount of damage you're taking from carriers so much, because obviously there's 8 interceptors per carrier. Each interceptor attacks twice, so that's essentially 16 less damage per carrier per attack per armor upgrade. So the fact that he doesn't have any of those at the minute is going to be a huge issue for him. We have more carriers joining the fray as well, 2 more joining up with the army. And I don't really know what Namshar does to hold this. There's a decent amount of spines, but not very much in the way of spore crawlers. Neeb opting to just chill for a bit, looking for position, looking for a couple of pickoffs. Yeah, but I think he might just be able to push in and win.
Yeah, Archon's in the front tanking so much here. The Hydra's concentrating so much of their fire onto interceptors. There's just so little left for Namshar. Neeb has hit that critical mass of very strong units. And GG, Neeb evens up the series.
Yeah, I feel like that is kind of what we expect to see in a normal average macro game, right? Namshar is very, very good, but Neeb is just so solid with his macro. He has been for years and years. And I feel like it might be in Namshar's best interest to sort of reach into his bag of tricks and see if he can claim a win. If you think about it, Namshar has only won 2 games today, and they've both been the games where he decided to get a little bit weird.
Yeah, I completely, I'm with you there. Now, it depends what this next map is, right? If we're sitting on one of the really large maps, if we now go to Eternal Empire, then it's going to be very, very difficult. I am waiting to see what that is. It looks like Namchar's watching the
Pillars of Gold, it appears.
Ooh, okay, this is a weirder map. Okay. Not a map that we actually see too often. Not quite as rare as Submarine, but it really isn't that big. Lots of high and low grounds. I think this is interesting. We might see something a little bit odd here. I can't see.
I think we honestly have to. Not to knock Namshar at all, but I really feel like it's in his best interest to try to do something a little bit less sort of standard. And we'll see what he opts for this time around. I don't think like getting super cheesy is necessarily the right play, and he hasn't done that in either of his weird games. He did a little bit of a weird opening in the game against Silky where he took that hidden base. He did a little bit of a weird opening against Neeb where he managed to take that proxy hatch, but it was really a push in the mid game that won both of those games in the end. So I feel like it's in his best interest to try to just get ahead early and then sort of get a critical mass before Neeb's able to really stabilize and try to just hit him while he's weak.
For now, let's introduce our players one final time today. In the top right team list, representing Sweden, living in Canada, the Red Zerk player, it's Namshar.
Facing off against our blue Protoss player in the bottom left, once again going for a very annoying early block on the hatchery. It is Ting's Neeb. And Namshar is going to go for a bit of a cheeky rally with the drone, but it's going to be spotted. Does he commit? Looks like he does. He's going to go with this, huh?
He's doing it. Yeah, he's doing a proxy hatch once again, I believe. Now, Neeb, of course, did see the drone escaping, but he's probably just presumed it's going to take the third, right? Especially with Namshar. I don't know if Namshar...
I mean, it wasn't a rally towards the third.
Okay.
I feel like Neeb should be just putting a guy on patrol in his natural. But he's not doing it. He also may just not have noticed the drone. That does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
And, well, here we go. I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah, me too. So Namshar was able to win the game that he did this. He won game 1 doing the same build. It got a little bit weird. Neeb, once again, is not going to pull probes to deal with this. He's going to make a Zealot, send 1 probe on it, throw down his Cybernetics core immediately. This time the Cybernetics core is in the front, which makes it a little bit more vulnerable to the lings that are being produced and running across the map. And if that goes down, the game gets very, very tricky here for Neeb.
Kind of a different situation as opposed to Eternal Empire is that Eternal Empire, the ramp is like the entrance to the base doesn't sit on the ramp, so you don't have the high ground advantage as the defender there. Whereas on this map, obviously Neeb does have the high ground advantage defending against those lings. Makes it a little bit easier on him. It's a little bit more of a choke as well, but this is so far looking like Namshar is going to commit and allow this hatchery to... I mean, is he going to finish it or is he going to cancel it, build an Evo? This is always interesting because like some players do decide that even when it's this low, finishing it is not necessarily a bad idea because it gives so much creep. It delays the Protoss by quite a lot. Yeah. And yeah, he is going to allow it to finish.
Neeb's actually just got in with 6 lings. Wow, Namshar even probably could have ran in with the rest of those lings there and gone for a little bit of damage, possibly. He is just going to try and see if he can get any probes. He doesn't, but gets a little bit of lost mining time. I'd say Neeb's done a better job this game. Of course, there's no queen. This has been cleaned up considerably quicker. The larvae are going to be targeted as well, but they have like 100 armor, so it takes 2 swipes.
Yeah, they will die to the last creep, though. At the end of the day, that kind of an investment for Namshar isn't the worst at all. I mean, I do like him making these lings as well. Are they blocking the... The Nexus might be. I don't actually know how that works. So
it's been fixed.
But it's been fixed for you. But has it been fixed for opponents? Like
Yeah,
I think your eggs can still block your opponents.
I don't think so. I'm not certain, but I think they fixed it for everyone. These
I'm
links,
not actually
of course,
sure. I don't end up in these positions that much. I do weird stuff, but not so much proxy hack stuff. Anyway, third base going down for Namshar here. He's already got it about halfway done. And this time we do see the Oracle as the follow-up for Neeb as opposed to going into 5 Void Rays. I do feel like the Oracle's probably the more reliable option. The Void Rays can definitely work. They did put in quite a bit of work themselves in game number 1. But the Oracle, the more tried and true, definitely the option where even if it doesn't get damage done immediately, it's an Oracle. It's still nice to have, right? You still have quite a bit of utility on that. Couple of Adepts, though. Let's see just how much these will be able to get them. We do have enough lanes to deal with this effectively. He's not going to commit to the Shade. And behind this, we do have that same Void Ray coming on out. It's looking like Neeb is trying to play this essentially the same way as he played Game 2, just with a little bit later of an exit.
Yeah, and I think that's okay, because of course there was a little bit of a delay on the tech and things here on the hatchery of Namshar, who does have his third hatchery up now. But he's 28 drones rally. There we go. Fixes it.
Oh my god, he just misclicked all of his drones away from his main. That actually probably lost him about like 200 minerals. That's not a small deal.
What? Ouch. A little bit of nerves maybe coming in here. We do see the Void Ray coming out, and it's going to Chad Ray this Overlord out of existence. Meanwhile, we can see here a few lings coming across for Namshar. There is no Baneling nest or anything like that, so these lings are purely here to try and deny and slow down any third base that could go down.
He was going 2 base Fleet Beacon.
Oh,
that is a quick committal to Sky Toss.
That's very quick. It makes you very, very vulnerable to either like Baneling busts and things like that, Ling Floods. But I don't think Namshar's going to have any idea. He has no Overlords, of course, because of the Void Ray that is cleared them. And also Namshar just doesn't do this kind of stuff. You know, he either, it seems from what we've seen of him specifically today, he's either doing something very, very cheesy, or he's committing very heavily to macro. You can see 10 more drones on the way here for Namshar. He's making more queens, getting his Roach Roaring, but I don't expect him to make, like, you know, to max out and make 10 laser overlords and just go for it.
I love him just, like, tower diving the Spore with the Void Ray for a single worker kill.
Worth.
Such a Chad move.
Void Rays. But
we have carriers on the way. Oh, we're 5 minutes and 50 seconds in, and we've got double chrono and carriers coming out.
Crazy.
I mean, this is the issue, right? If Namshar decided to be a little bit pokey, proddy, aggressive, the third base should just die very easily, right? Like, even 2 carriers isn't able to, like, it's not a lot of damage output, especially if there's Hydras, but he's going to get up to 4 real quick, and 4 is a pretty scary number of carriers already. The fact that he's going to have carriers out before the lair is done.
Yeah, that's wild. No +1 air weapons yet. I'd like to see Neeb go into that pretty quickly, because it does make a huge difference on carriers that attack so fast. This Void Ray continuing to be an absolute nuisance. We see the Twilight Council go down and a Forge as well. Namshar is going to try and throw down his 4th base, but the Void Ray, the Chad Ray is here, and it is going to be able to blast that down. Specifically if it powers up. Doesn't look like it is going to, though. Is it on cooldown? Yeah, it's on cooldown.
A little bit, but it still does more damage. Yeah. Out damages the building healing of the hatchery, essentially. I think he actually gets it.
Yeah. He doesn't. Should have committed. I think it's probably worth it in this scenario.
Oh, that's because he's going with 2 carriers.
What?
Oh my god, he's just rallying the first 2 carriers across the map.
This is madness.
I mean, what does Namshar do against this? He just instantly loses the 4th. There's no way he holds it. He's got a Spire on the way now. He's decided his best option is Corruptors. I feel like he's probably right. Neeb is not making more carriers. He just made 2 carriers and is switching into ground.
This is a 2-carrier fake.
I love this. I love this. It's so dumb. But, like, it's one of those things that's so dumb, it's just going to actually work.
The Queen's starting to fall down pretty quickly here. Of course, Carrier's very tanky. He's basically using them like a Terran uses battle cruisers. This is mental. Queen goes down. There's a lot of Queens, but recall available for these carriers, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them. The number starts to get a little bit low, but it's
so a lot of silly. I love it.
What is happening?
Look at the resources lost right now, Grant. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So this is what, I mean, this is exactly what he wants, though, right? Namshar Spire is going to finish. He's going to power up like 8 Corruptors.
And there's 100 Zealots coming across the map.
Yeah, he's going to walk across the map with a ground army. And, I mean, what?
Yeah.
Okay, he sees the ground army, but he's already going into Corruptors. Like, he needs the Corruptors now for the carriers, because he hasn't invested in a Hydra Den. Oh, no.
I think Namshar's in a bit of trouble here, Bengi, because this is a lot of Zealots. Zealot Legs is very, very close to finishing, just 5 seconds away, which means... this is crazy. +1 air weapons is now coming out, but we've still not seen any more committal to carriers yet.
So he preemptively cancels that 4th, takes the other 4th.
Yeah.
And at this point, he's getting a couple of Ravagers out, some Roaches coming in. The army isn't huge, it's just a lot of very scary units, but Neeb's happy to take that base kill, opts to just pull back, more Corruptors on the way. Namshar knows about the ground army, but I don't think he fully realizes that the carriers have stopped being produced yet. He's going up to 10 Corruptors now.
Yeah, that's a lot.
11, he's still making Corruptors. Oh, dude, this is a little scary.
Meanwhile, Neeb is making, he's getting Storm, he's making a good amount of Archons, he's getting +2 ground weapons. His 4th is almost fully established, and there's next to no ground army for Namshar. He has 7 Roaches and 3 Ravagers. If Neeb just went right now, I honestly don't know what Namshar could do.
I love that Neeb is getting +1 air weapons, because he's really just powering up to keep himself in that position where if he decides he needs to go air, he's going to already have the upgrades he needs. Obviously, he's already got 2 Stargates, so he's going to be able to make that switch a lot quicker than he otherwise would be able to. And, I mean, Storm is done. What does... Oh my god, Namshar just immediately loses 200 gas with the Ravagers as well. He's up in supply, so I guess there's that. But again, Roaches, as we all know, not the most supply-efficient units.
Ooh.
Here we go. Oh my god, he's going to catch 3 more Ravagers on the backside. At least gets 2 of them. The Zealots will claim the final one. The Corruptors are jumping on top of this army now. They might be able to focus them down, but no, the Archons pop by just in time. And Neeb is honestly playing this, like, this is so weird, but he's playing it so well. This is such a cool game from Neeb.
Meanwhile, we had a counter-attack attempt here by Namshar, but a very, very good Stasis will manage to stop a lot of this. And now the Oracle will come back. Recall going to come in here. Namshar finds no damage in this position. And
he gets caught by that second Stasis as well. That's so many units that he can pounce on in like 10 seconds.
The Lings will escape. But
4 or 5 Corruptors went down on the left-hand side as well before that recall. So at this point, Namshar is really bleeding units. He's lost almost 4,000 more resources. And this early in the game, that's a colossal amount. And he's going to lose so many more here as this arm falls. Another Stasis Ward the rest is down. So many units. Namshar just doesn't really have... Like, he's got a lot of units, but they're just very ineffectual with the lack of tech with them, the lack of upgrades. And just... I mean, at this point, when the air army has the same up as your ground army, that's really not the best position to find yourself in.
This is
he's continuing to try to find some damage with these Roaches. He's going to cycle back around, but I mean, is he going to be able to find too much? There's a couple... Oh, this is actually kind of funny. These 2 Archons are stuck here from the recall, but they're going to allow a little bit of damage output against counterattack.
Yeah, there is an Immortal, but unfortunately he's not in for the best day of his life. These Archons just threatening from the back.
They're actually trapped.
Yeah, and he has no recall. He's trying to break down the
pylon. Well, the Roaches are going to get these undone.
We have the big fight going down here. Massive storms on top of all of these Roaches and Corruptors. The Corruptors will fall down pretty quickly. The Void Ray in the end offering so much damage. One carrier does survive the entire fight. We have Interceptors trying to morph in on the high ground force fields to buy them that little bit of extra time. And these Archons alongside the Immortals dishing out so much damage. Neeb up 30 supply right now. He's mainly cleaned up everything at home. He's killed 28 workers at the other side. Zealots will come in to finish up the cleanup. Archons now joining the fray. These are Mortals, they're the MVPs. So many kills, 20 between them. And that is all Roach Ravager. A Zealot comes in as well to try and find some fight. We have one Archon just literally walking across the map.
I mean, Archons as well. Generally, we consider Archons to be countered by Roaches, especially in low numbers, but the upgrades are just better for Neeb to the point where he's able to take out a bunch of Roaches with that last Archon. 2 more carriers coming into production because at this point, Namshar does not have the money to deal with at all. Namshar staying in the game for now, but 62 supply to 133. Even Zealots are now trading out against Roaches, just continuing to do so much to the... I mean, the resources lost are now 7,000 in Neeb's favor. Oh, man. I mean, this has just been one of those games, right, where... I mean, Namshar probably hasn't played against 2 carrier harass very much. And that's going to be it.